This is Blue Devil Weekly. Hello and welcome to Blue Devil Weekly, an exclusive here on MyWayneNews.com. I'm Mike Carnes. We're back at Wayne High School after a little bit of a break in between the winter and the spring sports seasons, and we got a lot to talk about in this week's edition of Blue Devil Weekly. We're going to talk with baseball coach Adam Hoffman about the Blue Devil baseball team as they get the 2016 season underway. Also getting things going is the Wayne High track and field team. Dale Hochstein will be by to tell us about the track and field team's first effort of the season and the stuff that they have coming up as well. Also, we thought we'd bring in the speech coach, Dwayne Speaker, and talk about the Wayne High speech team because they went down to the state meet and did pretty well down there. They had a couple of medal-winning performances. We'll have Coach Speaker talk about those performances here on the big show as well. We're going to take a time out. When we come back, we'll have baseball coach Adam Hoffman to stop by to talk about the Wayne High baseball team. Wayne Wakefield co-oping on baseball once again this year, and we'll tell you how they did in their first couple outings after this time out here on MyWayneNews.com. When it comes to keeping you informed with the best local news coverage, only one website gets the job done: MyWayneNews.com. The homepage of the Wayne Herald is your source for the most complete coverage of local news and events happening in Wayne and Wayne County. We keep our focus on the local area because we know you rely on other websites to keep you informed on what's happening in Norfolk and other parts of the state. That's why MyWayneNews.com focuses exclusively on Wayne and our three-county region, so you know what's happening here all in one place. Only one news source provides award-winning coverage of what's happening in Wayne and Wayne County. Get the best news coverage online with MyWayneNews.com. And don't forget to like us on Facebook and Twitter as well. The Wayne Herald and MyWayneNews.com. Unbeatable coverage. Welcome back to Blue Devil Weekly on MyWayneNews.com. Time to talk baseball with Coach Adam Hoffman, the Wayne Wakefield baseball team. Co-op situation here between the two schools. They get their 2016 season off to start this past week with a pair of games, taking on Arlington on the road and then playing at home against Fort Calhoun. First time in the new and improved Hank Overend Field after the redesign of the grandstand there. And Coach, I guess first off, you guys came up short in both games, losing to Arlington 12-7, losing to Fort Calhoun 9-2. In both games, kind of a situation where you got off to a good start, but then the defense just kind of let you down a little bit.
Yeah, in that first game, we actually played pretty good defense throughout the whole game. They had more timely hits, and we had a couple opportunities on the defensive end where we didn't make a play when we could have. They weren't necessarily errors, but we just didn't make the plays, and we could have cut down some runs in those situations. One where they make a diving catch and take away a couple runs for us, and we attempted a diving catch and we didn't come up with it, and that obviously they scored a couple runs off of that. So just things like that where we make a play here or there, we cut down some of their runs, and like I said, the Arlington game, they earned it more than us just giving it to them. So those are losses as a coach that you can not that you ever want to lose, but you can handle more than the Fort Calhoun game, where the Fort Calhoun, we gave them numerous runs. We had 9 errors, and anytime you have 9 errors, you're not going to beat anybody. I don't care who you're playing. That's just unacceptable. So it's kind of a tale of two tales there with games, where one night we were pretty good defensively, the second night we weren't, and that cost us in the Arlington game. Those are things that we've really been stressing on here in the last couple of days of practice, and we need to clean that up and get ready for Crete.
The Arlington game, I think offensively, you guys played pretty well. Brendan O'Reilly had 2 hits. You guys had 10 hits, spread the offense around pretty well, and Brendan and Peyton Gamble both scored 2 runs. Offensively, you guys hit the ball pretty well in that game.
Yeah, hitting is contagious, and once you can get it going right away, it just seems to just everybody, it just trickles on down the lineup, so we got to get our top of our lineup. We got to be the guys that get us going, and and then if our top of lineup guys aren't getting us going, we got to have the bottom lineup, get maybe somebody down there to spark us and get us going there. But hitting is very contagious, and once it seemed like once we got going, we hit really well, and the one thing in the Arlington game that we really stressed about, which wasn't very good, was our strikeouts. We struck out way too many times, and then The Fort Calhoun game, we didn't strike out as much, but we just didn't have as many quality at-bats and quality swings on pitches that we should have.
And the Blue Devil baseball team, I think one of the players to watch this year, as he was last year, was Peyton Gamble. He's a junior this year and has come through and played pretty well. He had a couple runs scored in the first game, had 2 hits in the Fort Calhoun game, and obviously he's going to be one of the players to watch for your team this year.
Yes, he is, but unfortunately you probably haven't heard, he had an injury yesterday and is out for the rest of the year. He broke a leg, and so he has had surgery yesterday and will be out the rest of the year. So we will miss him. We just hope that he recovers well and everything else takes care of itself there. So
you're going to have to rely on some of those younger kids to kind of pick up the slack then.
Yep, somebody just got to step up and play center field and be a leadoff guy and eat some of the innings that he would have had for us. We were relying on him to be one of our key guys, but that's the way athletics works, and somebody's just got to step up and be that guy.
Now on Thursday, you guys are scheduled to play Crete, and I understand there's an effort to try to move the game to Crete with the field conditions being what they are up in this part of the state. No, down there they didn't get any snow down there, and here it looked like it all got dumped here. So what's the status on that?
Well, as of right now, I know Rocky was trying to get a hold of them yesterday to see if they would be willing to host. Our field obviously won't be dry. We still have snow. Yesterday that it's going to take a couple good days, and who knows, it might rain here the next couple days. They'd have no snow down there, so as of right now, we are trying to move it down there to play game. I mean, we got to play games when we can. If we keep pushing games back, we're going to have 4 or 5 games in a week, and that's not good for anybody.
Yeah. So. And your schedule this week, you already got a lot of games scheduled. I think you got Wahoo coming up in South Sioux City, so a busy calendar coming up here, and then having to reschedule games. You already have to reschedule the game with Thurston Cumming County, and that game's going to be coming up in April. So kind of a busy week coming up here.
Yeah. We do have a busy week. Like you said, you got Thursday, doubleheader Saturday, and then Monday, Tuesday right away. I think we got West Point CC on Monday, so yeah, it's gonna be pretty hectic here once we get going, and April will be over before you know it. With all these games, it goes by fast. So ready or not, here it comes.
Here it comes, exactly. And any schedule changes that come up, you can check them out on our Facebook page and also on our website at mywaynews.com. So the Blue Devil baseball team 0-2 to start the season, and again, game coming up scheduled Thursday against Crete. We'll see if that game is either rescheduled or moved down to Crete, depending on what transpires here in the next day or so. So, Coach, good luck this week, and hopefully we can get some baseball in on the home field too.
Absolutely. Thanks a lot. Appreciate it.
All right, we'll take your time out and have more here on Blue Devil Weekly right after this time out on mywaynews.com.
The Wayne Herald is your source for all the news going on in Wayne and Wayne County. We cover the city and county from government to community events. We also cover Wayne High School events and athletics, as well as high school sports in Laurel, Wakefield, Allen, and Winside. And we also provide the area's best coverage of Wayne State College sports and events. When it comes to Wayne, nobody covers it better than the Wayne Herald and Morning Shopper. Get your subscription now by calling area code 402-375-2600, and also check us out on the web at mywaynews.com.
Welcome back to Blue Devil Weekly on mywaynews.com. Time to talk track and field with Coach Dale Hookstein. The Wayne Blue Devil track and field teams are off and running, so to speak, as the 2016 season gets underway. Their first competition was recently at the Wayne State Indoor Meet up at Wayne State College, and highlighting the effort there was Nolan Reynolds set a new school record in the pole vault, which is an event that you guys really haven't had a lot as far as a lot of competitors in over the years, but the last couple of years you have kind of gotten that event introduced to the team, and Nolan's really kind of picked up the stick and run with it literally. With
he
event.
really did. Back in the early 1980s when they switched things over and got rid of our runway, had redone some things in the track. We didn't have one until the last couple of years when they resurfaced our track last time. We talked about getting the pit in, and Mr. Lanahan was greatly in favor of that. Points that we were missing out in meets and things like that. And so we actually started our kids vaulting 2 years ago prior to getting it all done, but they just did some things in the long jump pit. And, he said Nolan grabbed the stick, and he's been having a lot of fun with it. So it was good to see him go that way early in the season, and he's got higher goals for the year.
And he went 12-6 in the pole vault there at the Wayne State Indoor Meet and set a new school record there. And well, I don't know, you go much higher in that building, you're about to scrape the awning there. It's,
That's one of the things that if you've ever been to an indoor track meet, and you watch like the pole vault, and you see the guys going up between the rafters, and vaulting. To me, it's a little bit, wondering where they're going to hit the roof. But same thing when you go down to UNL and watch those guys. It's fun to watch as an indoor event, and he had a great day and got things rolling.
Yeah. And Wayne High won 5 meets in that event at the Wayne State Indoor Meet. The 3,200 meter relay team came from behind to win their race, and Kylie Hammer winning the girls long jump, Caitlin Gorney taking the girls jump, and then Grayson McBride winning the high jump. And those are some kids that have been pretty good performers for you in track and field. Kylie was a state medalist last year in the long jump at state track, so she's off to a good start. And that 32 relay team, they did a great job of running the field down to win that race.
The relay, we knew it's going to come down to kind of the same thing all year long. I think SCOTUS is going to put a good relay team against us, Boone Central, who we'll get to see next week at our meet and so forth. So there's a lot of good distance runners. Then you get in our conference, you throw Crofton in there with them too. So our kids know that they need to start and be competitive early in the year, and that's just a measuring stick, that first meet, and we had some really nice surprises as far as how our kids competed. Everybody put people in a position where Gabby was able to run the last person down, and we won that race. Grayson started with a nice height in the high jump with his, and we didn't know how our long jumpers necessarily going to stack up, but 17.8 is a nice long jump to start, and then Caitlin Groening going almost 34 in the triple was nice to see her start the season that way as well.
Then you get the Columbus Relays coming up this week over at Pawnee Park in Columbus SCOTUS Relays, and it'll be a good opportunity to see where you stack up against Columbus SCOTUS and some other teams in the area at the early point.
Right. Well, it's a different type of meet, being everything relayed, including the throws and so forth. So you got 4 kids throwing, you got 4 kids, in each of your field events, and then it's just 8 teams. Everybody's got 1 lane for the relays, and they add the 6,400 meter relay. So our distance corps got a good race, and on our girls' side we have some really nice distance runners. So they're looking forward to the challenge. And then you're competing against Wahoo Newman, Waverly, Gretna, Pius, SCOTUS. So we're against really good competition, and give a chance to get some splits, get a lot of kids in events because it's strictly relays.
And then next week, of course, is the Blue Devil invite to the Kern track just down the road here, and things have been kind of, if you haven't been to the track in a while, it looks a lot different. Resurfacing was done last year, and then some reconstruction there on the main facility as well. So it's almost looks like a brand new facility down there, and it's a great opportunity for you to show it off next week with your invitation.
Right, and we have, they got the handicap accessibility all changed, getting into the facility and so forth. We have a new building over by our shot put ring. Everything just continually growing and updating. We're actually going to have Black Squirrel up to fully automatically time our meet, since we have the teams like Pearson against SCOTUS. Us, there's some Boone Central, great competition coming into that meet. So it'll be a good measuring stick for us early in the year. We got most of the snow off the track from last week, and hopefully we'll be able to have everything melted down and ready to go by next week.
Yeah, so if you get an opportunity to come down to the track next Tuesday, do so. It's really looking like a nice facility now, and it'll be fun to showcase that and to see how these how the Wayne High kids stack up against these other teams that are going to be coming in. Some good competition will be coming into this meet. Coach, good luck this week with the Columbus Relays, and then we'll be looking forward to the big meet down the road here at the Kern track next week.
We're excited to be able to host meets and have a lot of people come in town and see our kids perform, as well as top quality kids from around the area.
All right, we'll take a time out and have more here on Blue Devil Weekly after this time out on MyWayNews.com.
When it comes to the best local coverage, only one online source is a slam dunk for the people of Wayne County, and the surrounding area, and that's MyWayNews.com. From our exclusive Wayne State Coaches Show to breaking news of area news and sports events, MyWayNews.com is your trusted source to keep up to date on news in Wayne, Wakefield, Winside, Laurel, Allen, and the surrounding communities. And for complete award-winning coverage and commentary, turn to the Wayne Herald, our weekly newspaper devoted to covering Wayne County for more than 125 years. Whether it's print or online, we are your go-to source for all the local news, sports, and events happening in our area. The Wayne Herald and MyWayNews.com, an unbeatable combination.
Welcome back to Blue Devil Weekly on MyWayNews.com. talking with Dwayne Speaker, the speech coach at Wayne High School. The Wayne High speech team was at the state speech championships out of Kearney here recently, and came away with a couple medal-winning performances, and performed pretty well there out at Kearney in a kind of a different environment. We talk about sports here a lot here on this program, but speech is definitely a part of the school experience here. And Mr. Speaker is the coach of the team, and coach, you guys came away with two medal-winning efforts there, and those kids performed pretty well from what I understand.
They did very well. All of our kids that we took down there did a very nice job. We performed really well. Often when you go to the state tournament in anything, you can perform well and still not come away with the medal. We did have some kids who showed up as well as anybody could at the state meet and did not go home with a medal. However, we did have two medals at the state tournament, which is the first time for me as a coach since 2004 that we've come home with more than one medal. We had a duet acting team of Meg Osnes and Jack Osnes make the finals and medal and get fifth. And then we had an oral interpretation of drama team, 5 kids, Claire Barnes, Grace Heithold, Anna Loberg, Meg Osnes, and Jack Osnes make the final and also medal and get fifth. So we're very happy with that. That is the first time as a coach, 17 years coaching, now 16 years coaching, that I have had an OID team make the finals. So we were really happy with how they did.
That's really good what they did there at the tournament, and the effort that goes into this. This isn't more than just picking up something and go with it. These kids have to pick out a script and then really get into it and learn the lines that come with the performance and then act it out and they did a fantastic job.
It's an ongoing thing. It starts far sooner than anybody thinks. The problem is with a good speech is if it's done well, it looks like the person just showed up and started speaking, when in fact there are months of preparation behind that. The oral interpretation drama team in particular, I want to praise for getting together very much on their own. It is hard to coordinate the schedules of 5 people, 5 kids at this school these days, and they had to get creative with their schedule and when to practice and so on. We had a little help from the administration on that. They work together extremely well, and it's a team sport. If the person next to you makes a mistake, you can't get down on them. You've got to cover up for the mistake yourself.
Yeah.
Just like basketball, just like football, volleyball, any of the sports. So there's a team element that we were really able to celebrate this year in the duet and the OID teams.
And I've given a lot of speeches in my time too, and the preparation that goes into putting the speech together. There's a lot of stuff that goes on that you don't see when you're watching the speech being done that prepares them for that moment, and they obviously did a fantastic job.
Yeah, it has to look off the cuff to be done well, and the problem is to look off the cuff, you have to practice for months and months. So I really applaud my kids for their hard work and their dedication, not just to their own performances, but to each other.
All right, well, thanks a lot,
Thank you
Coach,
very
for
much.
coming and talking
Thanks
about the
for
team.
having
It's great to see that they performed well
Yes.
and came away with some
It was
medals.
a great season, and I'm very proud of my kids.
All right, we'll take a time out and have more here on Blue Devil Weekly right after this time out at MyWayNews.com. Welcome back to Blue Devil Weekly. I want to thank our coaches for taking the time to talk with us here on the big show. We'll do it up throughout the spring season here up until about the middle part of May when school gets out for the summer. Then we really don't have any reason to come to school for a few months. So we'll be back here next week to do another edition of Blue Devil Weekly and talk about Blue Devil activities and athletics here at Wayne Junior Senior High School. I want to thank everybody for tuning in and thank our coaches as well for their support of the program as well. That'll do it for this week. We will see you next week with another edition of Blue Devil Weekly on MyWayNews.com. This is Mike Carnes. Check it out and saying, go Blue.